Welcome to Lunch in the Band Room. This is episode 5.
Lunch in the Band Room.
Lunch in the Band Room. We're happy to have you here. It's so funny with all these people.
Oh my gosh, this is perfect.
Central Park. Where are we exactly?
We are in Central Park. We're by the lake in Central Park. We are looking at the San Remo buildings.
There we go.
You know, they were the first dual-towered buildings in Manhattan, which is pretty cool. And
amazing.
Spielberg and Sondheim have both been previous residents of this building.
Phenomenal. This is why it's your favorite building.
Yes, it's my favorite. She's gorgeous. You know, we have the rowboats around us too. And yeah, it's just a gorgeous part. My favorite part of Manhattan. So I'm very happy to be here on the West Side in Central Park today for Lunch in the Band Room.
Yes, we are happy to welcome you. Will you give us your full name?
Yes, my full name is Talitha Duckworth. I go by Tali, I play trumpet.
Well, we're gonna go through your life. No pressure. No, I'm just
perfect.
Kidding.
Yeah, it's been a doozy. No, I'm kidding. It's been great.
But just to let our listeners know just how can someone do this professionally, and a lot of these things we'll talk about. I already know, and we've already talked about. But for the sake of the people listening, be like, oh yeah, you can play in band and play in marching band and then potentially go and do that for a job.
Yeah.
And do it in New York and all these other places and go on tour. So we're just talking through that, see what got you there and just, we're just hanging out. Super chill, super low pressure. So let's start from the very beginning. When did you start playing?
Very beginning.
Did you start on trumpet?
I did start on trumpet. So, funny thing, when I was a kid, my mom tried to get me in piano lessons. I was not interested at all, so that was very short-lived. And then 6th grade band tryouts. Try-ons. I guess they were the try-ons in middle school. That came around right before my 6th grade year.
Okay.
And I was there in the summer, and I had 3 instruments on my list: oboe, cello, and I wanted something else, French horn maybe.
Okay, yeah.
But you know what? There was no line for the trumpet, so I went, and I was very impulsive and very impatient. I tried the trumpet. I was able to make a buzz, and that was it.
And then
they handed me a trumpet, and I walked out, and that was the only instrument I tried that day. You were supposed to try a couple different see what works best for you, but nope, it wasn't even on my list. I tried the trumpet, I was good, and I left with that Yamaha horn later that day.
Student model.
Exactly, that gold student model with the 7C, you know.
Of course, it's a classic.
Oh yeah, and then I just started playing in middle school band there. I couldn't play above a C in the staff for ever. I was fine, but we made it. And then we got to figure some things out. 7th grade, got first chair.
There we go. Okay.
Got those solos in 7th grade band.
Crazy.
Played some bops. Did that in 8th grade too.
Were you in jazz band? What were your ensembles then?
Yeah, so back blast from the past. Back in middle school, my band didn't yet have a jazz band, so it was really just wind ensemble.
Okay.
So I just played wind ensemble. We didn't have orchestra yet. So I was just in the wind ensemble pep band for the basketball games. 1 year.
In middle school?
Yeah, one year I was on the 7th grade B team because I was friends with
Amazing.
The coach's daughter. I was really terrible at basketball. That was also short-lived. And then actually before my 8th grade year, or during that summer, my band director asked me they needed someone to play in the high school marching band as a hole filler.
Early,
yeah. So in 8th grade, I started playing in the high school band. I didn't have to go to morning rehearsals, which was nice. But I started at the very end of the summer season with them. And that was in 2016, you guys.
So far.
Scary. Almost, I know we were saying this earlier, almost 10 years ago when I was kind of starting my musical career. But I did my first show. I'm from Indiana. I went to Carmel High School.
Amazing.
Great band program, great marching band program there. And so I started in 2016 with their show Adagio Presto, and I played mellophone actually.
As a hole filler?
As a hole filler. So,
really?
Yeah, I had these tiny arms as an 8th grader with no muscles, and my bell was not to the press box where it should have been. I figured it out by Grand Nats, but definitely it took some time to get my muscles holding up that big bell of the mellophone. But yeah, I was able to play. They gave me a trumpet-ish mouthpiece, so that was honestly kind of nice. It wasn't too different from the trumpet. But yeah, it was in mellophone and F, I believe. So it was just like a little different for my ears. Yeah. And yeah, but we figured it out. It was lots of fun. And then from there on, I finally got to the high school.
Went back to trumpet, or did you stay on mellophone?
No. I went to trumpet as soon as I could.
As soon as they let you.
That was a fun little honeymoon phase with the mellow, but I didn't need to see her again.
Of course.
So that was fun. And then, did trumpet in the marching band. I also played in high school pep band. I played for the show choir pit orchestra, which was my first pit orchestra experience.
More to come on that later.
Yes. I know, foreshadowing. And then I went on to playing in the orchestra as well. I was a sub at first, and then I started playing full-time my sophomore year.
So your high school had an orchestra?
So my high school had 5,500 kids.
Wow.
We had, at the time, 7 full bands. I think now it's at 8.
Goodness. Holy moly.
We had 2 full symphony orchestras with then also string orchestras. Wow. So we had
That's not super common.
Not super common. We had, I think there's now 5 jazz bands.
Holy.
Full, 2 full jazz bands. So 5 full jazz bands. Yeah, we had pep band, marching. The marching band was a 300-piece marching band.
Wow.
So
and that was
ginormous band program and arts program.
What is it? The classification 1C?
We were 4A.
4A. Yeah,
I think.
Pretty.
I think. Yeah, we were the biggest division in BOA. Up there with Avon, Broken Arrow, all of those huge schools. So we were just ginormous. You kind of had to pick your thing at our high school and do it. So
because it was so involved.
Yeah, because I couldn't do marching band and cross country in the same season, or I couldn't do orchestra and track. I tried doing it and I went insane. So you kind of had to pick and choose what you wanted to do, and it's phenomenal because this high school had so many different options for you to do a million things. Yeah. However, you kind of had to choose at a certain point what you wanted to do, and you just had to choose earlier on than I think a lot of other people did at bigger.
And you would have
at smaller high schools. And so I just kind of hyper-fixated on the band stuff. I started doing it more and more, did junior all-state band, and then all-state band, played Frank DeKelly's Blue Shades.
Frank DeKelly, the
man.
Oh
my gosh, Frank DeKelly. Shout out. I then got to work with him at USC, which was so cool. I met him in the elevator, and I didn't recognize his face at first.
Oh my gosh, you're Frank DeKelly.
Yeah, he complimented my playing because during COVID, when I first started college, I was playing outside still, and it was just kind of the California thing to play outside in the quad. And he saw me and he was like, "Are you the trumpet player that keeps on playing on the lawn?" And I was like, "Yeah, sorry if you need me to." And he was like, "No, you sound great." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And I was like, "Hi, I'm Tali." And he said, "Hi, I'm Frank DeKelly." And I was like, "Ugh." I was like, that was one of I called my mom after, and I was like, "Mom, I just met Frank DeKelly in the elevator." And then I got to work with him in New Music Ensemble.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I mean, to keep going. After that, I went. I guess COVID hit my junior year of high school.
Okay.
And that was the big, factor of figuring out what I want to do. Junior year is normally
junior year high school.
Yeah, is normally when you're starting to figure out you're going to apply to college in the fall. And COVID made me realize that I missed making music with other people.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of go the pre-med track. I wanted to, study psychology, or I had so many tracks, but I kind of wanted to be an ER doctor. I don't know. That was I work well under pressure, and I was emergency medicine. That makes sense for me.
Of course.
And then over COVID, I realized no, I really miss making music with other people.
Yeah.
And so I decided to kind of just go for it, and I did the Interlochen online summer program. It got moved online because of COVID, and at the end of that program, the professor up there, Ken Larson, he asked me, "Hey, one of our kids, he can't come from overseas due to the travel restrictions. Do you want a spot at Academy?" This was 2 weeks before my senior year. I was head drum major, principal trumpet of all the ensembles. And 2 weeks before my senior year of high school, I decided to move up to Michigan. And I decided to go to Interlochen for my senior year. My band directors were not too happy with me.
That's crazy.
Just because of the late notice. They were happy for me.
Because of all the positions you were taking.
But I was so excited. So I moved up there to tippy top of Interlochen, Michigan. It's as far up as you can go before being on the UP.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was great. I met one of my best friends there, Leah
Amazing.
Hanji, shout out. She's also a trumpet player.
Amazing. Shout out.
Yeah, it was so amazing. We couldn't do full orchestra there, but we focused on chamber music because you could still have that many people in a room.
Yeah.
With the COVID restrictions, and that's where I kind of fell in love with chamber music and performing in like smaller ensembles because I'd done so many bigger ensembles in high school.
Yeah.
So I was excited to finally do chamber. And then after that, he encouraged me, my professor there, Ken, encouraged me to apply to USC. And I was between USC, NYU, and Boston University, and I ended up going to USC. Fight on. Beat the Bruins. And yeah, I went there, studied with Tom Hooten and Jennifer Murata.
And what was your major?
And I
USC?
studied classical trumpet performance.
Whoa.
I didn't know that was a
Classical
major you could do.
Yep. Classical performance major.
Yeah, so I did classical trumpet performance, and I had various minors throughout the years. One of them, I was thinking music industry. Then I had a film one for a second. And
wow.
Because USC is a phenomenal film school. I went to Los Angeles because I fell in love with film music very early on. I'm a big Star Wars nerd. And so that's kind of what drew me into classical music actually at first. And yeah, but I had various majors. Then I started studying film, and I was like, I don't want to ruin film like I've ruined music. I haven't ruined music, but I've studied it so much that I always think about it critically.
To it. Yeah,
and I didn't want to think about film critically as much because I don't want to study Mark Hamill's performance as Luke Skywalker. I mean, so yeah, I've just eventually, I was just focusing on trumpet and performing a lot and meeting new people, and
Wow. Amazing.
So kind of all over. I know that was me just blabbing for a while.
This is the story. So tell me, when you were choosing classical, did you already have, a job in mind, were you just going and you're like, let's try this classical major, see what comes from it?
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine you were like, I'm going to play in Broadway.
No.
Right when you started the major,
No, I didn't really know that was an option when I started. I knew I wanted to play, and I knew I wanted to play with other people, and like classical was the way I knew how to do that because I was classically trained, took trumpet lessons in high school, obviously played in orchestra and band, but it wasn't as exposed to jazz, so I was like, well, I can't do jazz. Can't get a degree in jazz. So I'll do classical. That's like, those were like kind of like the two options that you're kind of allowed to go through. And so I was playing in orchestra. We did 2-week cycles between orchestra and wind ensemble at SC.
Okay.
And was playing so much, played in the new music ensemble a ton. Actually started working with the jazz band as well, playing in the jazz band.
Amazing.
So kind of just, I loved it because I was playing all the time. Like I had at least one performance a week. I was working with the pop performance majors as well, playing at the house parties, playing those Earth, Wind, and Fire tunes. And
all the time.
Yeah, also just playing with some girl bands and hanging out.
Yeah.
And that was really fun for me too because I was figuring out like the niche in which I wanted to play in. And then sometime during the fall of my freshman year, I sent an email to the School of Dramatic Arts. Because I grew up listening to musical theater. Amazing. And I grew up listening to Hairspray and Mary Poppins and all of these amazing shows. And I was like, I want to play for a musical. I've never done that before. I've played for show choir, pit orchestra, but I've never played for a full musical.
Which is pretty adjacent. But,
yeah, it's pretty adjacent. But yeah, I just wanted like a plot and just like a full show. Yeah. And so I just randomly sent an email, definitely to the wrong person, but I sent an email to someone at the School of Dramatic Arts, and somehow they connected me to the right person. They connected me to the orchestra contractor. Of course. So at SC, it wasn't the students that were playing in the pit orchestra, it was actually local LA union members. And so I then get a phone call from this guy, Daryl. And Darren calls me and he's like, hey, Tali, how's it going? And I was like, hi.
Hey, who is this?
Hi. And then he's like, it's Daryl. I contract for the School of Dramatic Arts. I'm like, oh my God. Hi.
This is the thing.
This is very cool. And I'm like in one of the dining halls at SC, and I pick up this call. It's like 12:30 on like a Tuesday. And he's like, hey, can I like come hear you play tomorrow? And I said, tomorrow? And he's like, yeah, tomorrow. I'll swing by SC. You in one of the studios? And I was like, yeah, I'm in the trumpet studio. And he was like, perfect. I'll see you there. And so then I run back to the literal lunch table. And I'm like, guys, what do I play for a musical theater audition? And so I was so confused. So what am I playing? I played like some of like the Haydn trumpet concerto and like a couple orchestral excerpts.
Of course.
What else am I supposed to play?
Wonderful.
I have no clue what I'm doing.
He's got to know you need to play. I mean,
exactly.
that's all.
Exactly. So he played some of that and he was like, yeah, okay, yeah, you sound good, whatever. And he then hands me the one of the tunes from the show Something Rotten.
Oh, yes.
And he has me sight read that. And I had never listened to this show. I had like a very small amount of musicals that I had listened to like on repeat my entire life. So I didn't know this one at all. But hey, I sight read it and it went well. Then he said, awesome, here's the trumpet book to a chorus line. Here's trumpet 3. See you in the spring.
Oh my gosh.
And so A Chorus Line was my first show, was my first musical.
Amazing.
And for those of you who know A Chorus Line, it is a crazy trumpet book and a very fun
and 3 trumpets
show.
at
And there's
least.
3 trumpets, and that is still the biggest trumpet section I've ever played in.
Yeah, that's a lot.
In a musical. So yeah, I was playing with Bill and Bob.
Bill and
in
Bob.
The trumpet section. It was Bill, Bob, and Tali. And we had an awesome time. It was a really big pit. Played in Big Theater at USC, and that was definitely one of like my most like fun experiences playing.
And it's your first one too.
It was my first ever musical, and I was like, holy crap, I'm having so much fun playing this show each night. Like even like on 2 show days when my face was tired at the end, I was like, this is so fun. And like I'm getting to listen to these amazing singers and actors, and I just got to be part of a larger production, which I loved. And I realized, wow, this is kind of bringing back like that nostalgia of like marching band being a part of a large production, like creating a story, but getting to do that like for a big show and just during like. And so that's when I found out like, oh cool, this is like really something I want to start doing more of. And then Daryl then asked me to play Into the Woods that following fall. So I played Into the Woods, all of those trumpet calls, whenever the Prince came onto the stage. And I had so much fun doing that. And yeah, after that, I started applying to then work at theaters in the summer.
Oh, okay.
So actually, instead of typically what classical music students will do in the summer is they'll play for summer festivals. Like, I'm sure you've heard of like Aspen Music Festival or Music Academy of the West, and all of these like really premier, fabulous ensembles where you're performing for like big crowds every week. All of these amazing orchestral pieces.
Yeah.
A lot of those ones you have to pay for them, or you have to like get one of those few, or you have to get one of those few spots that are free. And so I found out early on that these are all very, very competitive music festivals. Yeah. And I started,
is like the classical scene.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, classical is so competitive. I mean, I'm realizing musical theater is as well too. But I then started applying to these summer stock musical theaters, which are basically theaters that are only open in the summertime. Sometimes they'll put on a couple of shows in the fall, winter, and spring, or they'll do some workshops. But their big thing is they have their summer season, and it's based mainly on the East Coast, is like the culture for summer stocks. And I started applying to a bunch of random summer stocks to see if anyone would take me. And I played for the College Light Opera Company that summer, College Light Opera Company Clock. And we did 9 shows in 9 weeks.
Okay. 9. Wait. 9 different shows.
9 different.
Oh, I thought you meant 9 performances.
No. 9 different shows.
Holy moly.
In 9 weeks.
And where was that located?
This was in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Still one of my favorite places. I lived in this little house. I think it was in Cottage 1 or something. And I was like a 5-minute walk to the beach. Oh my gosh. And so after shows, you could go to the water. We would play Mario Kart. We played cards. It was so fun. But also while playing 9 different musicals in 9 weeks, so you had to learn them super quick.
That's insane.
So the quick rundown: we did Hello Dolly, HMS Pinafore with Trial by Jury, and that is a Gilbert and Sullivan show. Then we did 9 to 5, The Music Man.
Wow.
We did The Merry Widow, which is an operetta. The Little Mermaid.
Amazing.
Yeoman of the Guard, Jesus Christ Superstar, and Singing in the Rain.
That is quite a lineup.
Yeah, and I played first trumpet on all of them.
Oh my gosh. And were you one of 2 trumpets or?
Yes, there were 2 trumpet players there. We had 2 trombones, a couple reed doublers. And so, yeah, it was an insane experience that just helped me rack up a bunch of shows. Had great sight reading abilities after that.
Playing like every single day?
Every single day.
For
you had
hours.
rehearsals in the morning, and you were performing a different show at night.
Oh, that's so cool.
No, it was insane, but I loved it. Had such a sweet spot in my heart for the Cape. I love it so much.
Yeah.
So started doing that, and then I went back to SC in that fall. Played Pippin.
Yes, which my girlfriend was in.
Oh my gosh, yes. Small World.
Yes.
So I played trumpet for Pippin, and then so that was okay. Timeline here. That's my junior year fall. Now we've already made it so far.
Yes, we've made it so far. Junior year fall.
Junior year
Pippin.
fall. I played Pippin. Yes, with your girlfriend. And then in that spring, I really decided to lock in. My best friend was studying abroad at. She was in Athens. Cameron was in Athens, and so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna lock in while Misty is living it up in Athens.
Of course.
So I just really started shedding a lot, and that was like my top priority, obviously, and also playing a ton and performing a lot, but I really just wanted to make sure I was practice.
Yeah.
And then that paid off because at the end of the semester,
Of your spring semester.
The end of my spring semester, so it's now around May of my junior year, or April, a bunch of my friends are sending me this playbill listing, the website Playbill, for the Mean Girls North American Tour. They're looking for a replacement trumpet player. And I was like, psh, that was really sweet of you guys to think of me, but
thank you so much.
no way. So I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. I'll send in my reel. So I send my reel of just all my different clips of me playing a bunch of different shows to this email, and I send my resume, and I make it all cute before I send it off. And then crickets, right? That's how this industry works. Crickets. Crickets for about 2.5 weeks, and then I get an email from the music director, and it's like, hey, Tali, would you be able to send in a recording of you playing Where Do You Belong from the show Mean Girls? It's Damien's first song. Big dance number. And I'm freaking out because it happens to be the busiest day of my collegiate career.
It's like finals.
Yes, this stuff always happens. Yeah, it's May. I have a final presentation for my RIT class at 8 a.m. And then I have to go to music history. And then I'm playing a gig with people an hour and a half away, but in LA, hour and a half away. So really 2. And so.
And it's 2 miles away.
Yeah. And so we're driving up. I'm listening to this song. I'm with my brass quintet. I'm I'm so sorry that you guys have to listen to me. And also someone tried to break in my car prior to this, so it was just an insane day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but he tried to break in with a stick, so it didn't really work. But so and then so we made it up to the gig. I'm freaking out because I'm I still have to record this tape today, and because I'm playing a solo trumpet part with the symphony the next night with the USC Thornton Symphony.
My goodness.
So I was just I have so much going on, and eventually, when we get home from the gig, I get to the trumpet studio at 11 p.m. and I open the book for the first time. And I've listened to the song a couple times, but I'm sight reading the book, and I'm opening up the conductor cam, and I'm okay, we got this.
Oh, they sent you a conductor cam?
Yes. So I had to record along with the conductor cam. Because the song that you can listen to on the cast album
is not the full.
Yeah. There's typically cuts. They
Doesn't
cut
have
out
all
the dance
dances,
breaks. And so then I'm listening to the conductor cam, and I was oh, there's a dance break here. Lovely.
The song's
and I was
5 minutes longer.
Yeah, and dance breaks is when the band plays. So I am scrambling. I play it through. I go on a walk, I come back, and I don't have my recording set up at all. I'm just recording on my phone, and it's poorly lit in the trumpet studio. I thankfully have my suit jacket from my gig, but and so then I get done with it around 1, I want to say, and then I have to trim off the edges, right? I have to, edit it and then upload it to YouTube. Finally uploads, I submit it off super late, and then I wait, and I was hear nothing, and I send a follow-up email, and I hear, oh, they went with someone else, and I was oh, No worries.
Good to hear.
No worries. Thanks
Good
for
to hear,
letting
so you're
me
not
know.
thinking about it. Yeah.
Exactly. And so then I put Mean Girls on the furthest back burner you could ever think about.
Of course.
And so I have my junior recital coming up. It's like 2 weeks later. My junior recital is the next day. And I get an email. I have my junior recital the next day, and I get an email that says, "Hey, Tali, would you be able to fly out to Burlington, Vermont next Monday? We'd like to have you on Mean Girls. We'd like to have you in the trumpet chair." And I'm freaking out. After, this was a whole, basically, 5-week process from the first time I saw it on Playbill. Freaking out. I call my mom. She's in town for my recital. I'm like, what do? I got to pack up my apartment. I got to leave in a week. What am I going to do? My lease is going to end. And so I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
And we're packing up everything. And my recital goes well. And then, I just have to now shed this book because I have to learn an entire 2.5-hour show in 5 days.
Oh my gosh. Holy moly.
And I'm not going to get a rehearsal.
Yeah, no, of course. You're just jumping in.
So I'm going to jump straight in. And I really, it was a crazy process. I feel like I blacked out for half of it.
Yeah.
But then I got on the 5 a.m. flight to Detroit, and then from Detroit to Burlington, Vermont, and I made my Broadway tour debut at the Flynn Theater in Vermont, and
in a single trumpet chair.
In a single trumpet chair.
Is one trumpet.
Yep, solo lead trumpet.
Oh my gosh.
And it was so much fun. Very supportive environment. Everyone was helping me out. We played a couple extra tunes in sound check, just to make sure I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
Right, they were checking me out.
Yeah.
So we played a couple extra things. We added on the overture, the happy dance in Fearless, and the dance break to Stop or something. We added a couple of different things, and then we just played the show.
And then you were just in it. That was the debut.
And then I did it, and then it was very fun. The MD then asked me the next day if I would like to stay on for the second year of the tour.
Booyah!
Obviously, there were some
Let's
logistical
go.
things we had to figure out too. But so that was very fun, and I did 5 weeks with them in Upper East.
Wherever
in
it was.
the Northeast,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
we went to Mexico for 3 weeks.
So cool.
Yeah, and then I joined them. That was in May and June. I got to skip all my finals my junior year, and then and then I joined them again from October to June of this year.
Yeah.
And so I did a full year with them, the full second year of the tour. And then after that, I moved here to New York, and now we're all cut up, basically.
Now you've been doing it since then.
Yeah, so that's basically where we're at. And it's been all over the place, but I'm very lucky to have traveled the country and worked all over the country. And SC taught me a lot, Carmel taught me a lot, Interlochen taught me a lot. So it's been crazy. But that's
That's the journey.
Exactly.
That's the journey to get here.
The 30 minutes of journey
of
that we've taken to get here. So
time to break it down, right? What I'm taking away is that you sent a lot of emails and you did a lot of reaching out. Sounds like.
Yes.
Because of course, in our wildest dreams, we're like, we'll be discovered. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to practice and maybe somebody will find me. But that's not always the case. Sometimes you have to send an email to the dramatic, school of dramatic arts.
The art of the cold email and the cold call.
Yep.
It's more email now than it is
luckily.
call. So it's a little less daunting. You can review your email draft a million times. I mean, I constantly am texting drafts to my mom and stuff.
Oh, of course.
Be like, please read my email. Did I use the right form of there?
No. Yeah, exactly. Throw it in Grammarly.
No, exactly. I'm always so nervous. I spelled something wrong. But I just email. I honestly DM people too.
Yeah.
That's how I met a lot of people in Los Angeles, actually. And also my parents were very encouraging of me when I told them I was interested in either moving to Boston, New York, or LA for undergrad. They were like, go and do it. As much as we'd love to keep you here in state, and IU has a phenomenal program, they were like, I want you to go out and meet people and start to do the thing. And that was really exciting, and to have their support doing that. And it's just cold calling, or at your university, at least at USC, there wasn't a ton of collaboration between the different sides. I mean,
That's
you know
a whole
this.
different thing. Yeah.
You know this, but I was the one that had to go to the pop people and be like, I want to play horns on your tunes. Or I had to go to the music production people and the professors and be like, hey, if you have any students that need a trumpet player, call me. I'd love to play.
And that's really important because that's something you may not want to do, but honestly, and especially moving out here, I've learned it's like cold emailing maybe can feel a little embarrassing. Or you're like, what if they don't respond? But also...
And they won't respond half the time.
That's fine. Exactly. So then it's like, then it doesn't matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter that I feel embarrassed saying, please give me a job.
Yeah.
Because some people do respond.
Back when I was applying to summer stock theaters that first year, and I had 0 experience.
Yep,
and the second year, too, I had only done 1 summer stock theater. I didn't have the tour under my belt yet. I had 0 experience. They were ghosting me.
It
obviously,
happens.
because then I realized now, because I'm starting to do those gigs actually a little bit more, I was realizing it because all of the national tour people were doing those gigs. So when they saw my measly resume of not even college not even a college graduate, has never toured, has never done anything, was like, why is she applying to work at this summer stock? Because most of the touring seasons are like September or October through May, and so then all the touring musicians, they haven't signed
Nothing
a
to
lease,
do.
right?
Yeah.
So they want to have somewhere with housing to live in the summer and work. So a lot of them will go from tour to summer stock theater, tour to summer stock theater.
But even with the measly resume, you still ended up doing...
I still ended up doing a measly.
Yeah, exactly. They still took
doing
you.
like one of those like training contracts.
Yeah.
And then now I'm able to do, I did my first equity show this summer.
Amazing.
Which was cool. I worked up in Weston, Vermont, played White Christmas in
Let's
July.
Let's go.
Super cute.
You
Great
had a-
trumpet pick.
On stage,
Blue
right?
skies. Yeah, I was on stage.
Man.
That was a doozy. That was really fun for the audio guy because my trumpet
Bleeding into
sound was
every
bleeding into
single
every
mic.
single ensemble member's mic.
Yep.
And I had to turn away sometimes because I was just playing too loud. But and then you get to start doing a bunch of different things, and I've really enjoyed it. And but definitely cold emailing or just keeping in touch with your connections as well, and who you know. And and also just making sure you're keeping up those connections, because you never know where your friends are going to end up. You never know where the people you've worked with before are going to end up. And also why you should still try to be cordial and kind with everyone you meet, because you never know that someone maybe who you like rubbed shoulders a little bit with on a contract might be doing something down the line where you guys are both on it and you guys are going to have to work together again. So just making sure just talking about if there is something that maybe didn't go super well in the contract, you guys can talk about it, make up, because the musical theater pit industry is very small. Everyone knows everyone works with everybody. And if you've worked with MDs before, reaching out to them, because they may want to hire you for their next gig if they need a trumpet player. So just making sure that you're keeping up those connections if you want to keep working. And everyone does it. I just got accepted into this program called Broadway Musicians Equity Partnerships, which is funded by the mayor's office and Local 802 in collaboration with Actors Equity and all this stuff. And the whole purpose of the organization is to help young and experienced musicians who haven't gotten the opportunity to work in Broadway yet to kind of get exposed to it.
Amazing.
And so, I got partnered with this trumpet player, John Walsh, who's currently on Hell's Kitchen. And, he invited me to sit in the pit and kind of watch what they do there. And then also we have these phenomenal panels. We had one last week that was all about subbing in Broadway, because that's also a huge culture. It's a huge different thing. There's different skills you need for a chair holder than you need if you're like a sub, right? Because you just have to be able to play that show with a couple hours notice,
Oh my gosh.
And and they were talking about a bit because they've had people reach out to them, and they were as those people, the ones that you do reach out to with these jobs, they were saying we appreciate it when people reach out to us, and we don't want you to not succeed, if that makes sense. We want you to succeed, and we want to help. Sometimes depending on our schedules, we just aren't able, and we do get a lot of these emails, and so a lot of the times we aren't able to, but we do appreciate when you ask for a lesson, or if you ask to take us out to coffee and to talk about our career and everything, and being very upfront with I am a musician and I'm interested in subbing on Broadway one day. And kind of asking them what skills they needed for it and everything like that, and what what tips and what they did, and so I'm very lucky to be a part of that program to just like get kind of that like insider knowledge of what we're doing, and we're having a contractors panel coming up next week.
Oh, cool!
So that'll be really cool to see like what goes on in a contractor's brain when they're hiring. So yeah, I'm very excited to.
That's so cool.
Keep doing that.
Honestly, it's like for a lot of those people, how you're saying they like getting the emails, even if they get a lot. Mm-hmm. For a lot of the things, it's like they just don't. They don't know who you are. Like if you don't reach out, how will they ever know? Exactly. So a lot of people, they want you to because they can see your email and check out your Instagram and check out the things and be like, oh, this person's so cool. I would have never known about them if they didn't reach out.
Yes. And one thing that a contractor told me a couple years ago, this was actually Daryl who hired me.
Amazing.
For my
USC.
first ever musical. He told me that it was very helpful that I had a website. So I've had a website. I got it my senior year of high school. You can buy your domain for like $12. Yeah. And my pro tip is just do it on Google Sites. It's free. You can build a website for free if you don't. Yeah. And you can make it look pretty spiffy. You guys should check mine out at TalithaDuckworth.com.
Boom.
www.TalithaDuckworth.com. I bought that domain. Yeah, when I was senior in high school.
Amazing.
And
in high school? Yeah, not college.
No.
Smart.
Senior in high school. So I already had this my freshman year because when he looked my name up, there wasn't a ton on that website at that time.
Yeah.
Because
there was a website.
High school diploma, and I had the various random things I did.
Yep.
But I was able to show I'm a trumpet player based in Los Angeles. I'm studying at USC with these people. Here's my resume, and I was just very findable.
Yes.
And just to have a little extra information on me, he said that was very good. Even at an early age to have a website. And because a lot of contractors, they will use Instagram and Facebook, but honestly, websites are kind of where, and email is kind of where it's at. So if you're able to find, someone's able to contact you from there, I would definitely recommend making a little website. I think it's really easy. If you need any help with it, you can also just DM me at Tali Trumpet.
There it is, Tali Trumpet. We'll have those in the caption for sure. Your website and your Instagram.
Website. I have professional Instagram as well as my personal Instagram, just to kind of separate it a little bit, and so I can post trumpet content on one, and just have I guess making my little brand of Tali Trumpet.
Smart.
It's nice to have them a little separate, but it's been great, and I love that side of it too, making the resume and the website, and kind of the more businessy side. I also have a business email. I think this is really important.
Of course, as do I.
Yeah, because I was realizing my normal Gmail just had so much junk in it. Had so much junk from that one time I shopped at Abercrombie or American Eagle. I get those spam
on all of those lists
daily, and all the random.
You can't miss the important stuff.
I know. So I have that trumpet email, which I only give it to contractors, and so that's so I won't miss anything, and I check that email every day, and it comes in a separate inbox, so I very closely check every single one of those emails, and it just makes it easy to separate them.
Oh yeah.
So
I do the same thing, especially since I'm putting it on my website. I'm I don't want to put my personal email available for a button, or even on Instagram sometimes you can do a contact. It's definitely separate email for all of those things. So if someone's reaching out even just about something on my Instagram, it's that's still going to one place. And I think that's smart. In addition to the separate account, which I feel a lot of people do.
I found that on because I now have my email on my website and on my Instagram. I have gotten the random spam gig email where it's here, we will pay you this amount for doing this thing.
$5 million.
And it's or we love your content. We'd love to blah, blah, blah. And so you'll randomly get those emails. But
it's hi, creator.
No, we literally. And I'm I have 2,000 followers. Let's
always going to get those.
Let's not. I am in no space to be doing any kind of brand deal for you, fake spam thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think just kind of making a little brand for yourself. Get a headshot where people can recognize you. I feel that's a lot of people's hesitation to making a website. They're I don't have any photos of myself. I was do you have photos of your case? Do you have photos of the music stand that you've played? Yeah. Getting your name out there.
Yeah.
Because that's the goal, right?
Of course. You want to be findable, reachable with the email. And I found interestingly, on the opposite side of it, because I also do have a website with like my important professional stuff on there. But then I find that sometimes, at least with me like DMing, these supervisors and directors, it's often they'll be like, hey, I just looked at your profile, cool stuff. And I'm like, wait, look at my website, please.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
like, so I've been having to really think about like, what is my first videos on my profile? Like if this person watches 2 things of mine, what do I want them to see? Do I want them to see the most recent thing that maybe I'm prouder of something else? Like it's been interesting in that aspect.
Yeah, and then I think that also comes into play, like the debate of like, do I post this playing clip or not? Because
do I want someone who's going to hire me to see this?
Yeah, but also like, do I want some like random person that's doom scrolling to like come up on my thing and like judge my playing? Like sometimes I'm just not in the mood. So I have I don't have a ton of playing clips up there. I do have a reel that I will send to contractors when they need it.
Which, can you tell us for our listeners, what is a reel?
Yes.
How did you put together a reel? About how long was it? What was in it?
Yes. I think this is very important.
Yeah.
So a reel, a lot of the times contractors will ask for this when you are submitting for a job, a tour, a contract. Like they'll want to get a sense of your playing. So this is very typical for musical theater, not as much for classical. Very similar to like an actor's dance reel, that kind of stuff.
Of course.
So, but for me, for trumpet. So basically you want to show multiple styles. You want to show all the horns that you play. So woodwind doubling reels tend to be a little bit longer than brass reels, just because they play so many different instruments. But for me, you want to keep the reel under a minute or a minute and a half. Yeah. They should know the sense you're playing within that, because a lot of times they won't make it.
They probably won't watch the whole thing.
They won't. So don't send them a 5-minute reel and have your best thing be the last clip, because they're not going to make it that far.
No.
So yeah, I mean, some of my clips are literally 5 seconds, or like you chop up the rest. You like
it's your
take
highest
out the
note.
rest. Right,
Boom.
right. Yeah, so I'll have like in my reel, I have from Mean Girls, I have the end of Someone Gets Hurt. I have the stop dance break. I think I at some point had the Fearless Happy Dance. What else would I throw in there? Maybe I would throw in like World Burn, just like a couple little clips from that. There's some things that show my range in there. So that, but I wouldn't have like too many of those in a row, right? But that would be for like my pop lead playing. I could put some Mean Girl stuff in there. And then I would also add in some of my flugel playing. So I played Little Mermaid, and I have some little melodic lines from when I was playing flugel in that. I played Into the Woods and all of those trumpet calls. I actually played those on piccolo trumpet.
Oh!
It's a common thing. Like you can either play them on the bighorn or you can play them on piccolo. And for me, piccolo just made more sense because, those come out of nowhere. They're pretty high. Yeah. And it's nice to just have to warm up a smaller horn. And it's just like, I feel like it's a little bit more in the character. Up there. So I have those in for my piccolo playing to show that I have a piccolo.
Of course.
And then I can play the piccolo.
Of course.
And then I also have some of like the sound from not Sound of Music, Singing in the Rain. I have some stuff from Singing in the Rain because that is very, I guess, like golden agey, thick vibrato.
Oh yeah.
And just
another style, another genre.
Just like another style, another genre. I have some stuff from Chicago from when I played that. So I've got some plunger. I had some stuff with different mutes. I know this sounds like so many different things that you need to throw in a minute and a half. But just so like have kind of just like a bunch of things with a bunch of different styles, short little playing clips, and then at the bottom of it you'll write like the song and what show it's from. So I would just write like Someone Gets Hurt, Mean Girls, North American Tour, and where I played it normally. So or I would say like Singing in the Rain, College Light Opera Company, or White Christmas, West End Theater Company. Yeah. So just kind of like giving context of where you played it, what you played, and like where it's from.
So it sounds like you want to make sure that they don't walk away from this reel wondering, oh, I wonder if she can play plunger. I wonder if she can play piccolo trumpet. Yeah. You want to like answer every question they may have in a minute.
The minute and a half reel.
Yeah.
Depending on the show, I also change my reel. So say I'm submitting for the Chicago tour. I'll add clips of when I played Chicago, but I'll also add some like more jazz than I would classical. If I was submitting for a classical show like Les Mis or Mary Poppins, I would send in like if I was playing solo repertoire or some of my orchestral playing. Like I played Candide Overture with the SC Symphony, and so like I have that in some of my reels. I also have some new music in some of my reels. If it's a funkier, like I guess like something just like with weird rhythms. Like even JCS had like some weird like I don't know, rhythmic things. And so just showing that you can do all of that. And so I actually have just a really big Pro Tools file. Yeah. That just
Pro
says
Tools
like
for your video. Or do you mean Final Cut?
No, I mean Final Cut.
Yeah, okay. I was like, that's kind of crazy.
You're picking up what I'm putting down. No, not Pro Tools. Actually, it is Final Cut.
Big Final Cut.
I have a huge Final Cut
of different versions
file.
Of your reel.
And it's just, I have all of my playing clips in there that I could ever need. And when I'm curating a reel, I just drag over the clip I want and I put it in and I take out the ones that I don't. And then I export it until like that minute and a half. And then I have all the other junk behind it. Yeah. Just so it's all in the same file. It makes it super easy. You can do that in iMovie too. Oh, yeah. And it just like is really easy because then it's all there. It's all accessible. And depending on what I'm submitting for, I can submit a different reel. Yeah. And then I just upload it to YouTube, send it out as an unlisted link. Of course. And wait for the contractor to maybe view it. Maybe, I know. Because that's the thing. They might view it or they might not. Like that's just the reality of all of this. But in order to have a reel, you need to start taking videos. So if you're playing any shows right now in pit orchestra, or even if it's like you're playing in band or orchestra, like just start taking little pit cams is what we call them. So you just plop up your phone during a show. Of course. You hit record and you play. And you play. And you forget it's there. And you just play. And that way you can and you can do that for a couple different shows. Don't go crazy. Don't do it every single show and like get in your head about it.
No one's got the storage for that either.
Exactly. No, you don't. I don't. No. But so just like record like the different parts of the show that you want to record. So like you'll have certain numbers in the show that make sense to record that you want to show off you're playing, that you're playing a secondary instrument. So just record those and kind of start creating a bank of your recordings so you have stuff in the future when you do have to make a reel. Yeah.
And for the people who aren't necessarily playing in shows yet or want to even start playing in their school shows, it's still something you can do at home. Like you can look up these songs, you can find them, you can search the song free PDF. Oftentimes there will be a theater in Virginia or wherever that will accidentally like upload all the parts.
Totally. It's so true. Find it. And this is a plug for my girl, Sophie Maniloff. She has like the best reel ever. Everyone wants to have her reel or have their reel look like hers. And so if you look it up, it's her website, just sophiemaniloff.com or whatever. And she has this great reel that it's actually just her solo playing during COVID, and she's playing with tracks in the background. So that is so something you're able to do without obviously having a live orchestra. So you can listen to that. She sounds awesome in that. And that's just a great example of you can just play with tracks in the background and or even just like the normal recording in the background and still have that same effect. So even if you haven't played in pits yet, but you do kind of need to submit quote unquote musical theater excerpts, that's something you can do as well. And that's what I did the first time is like I just played, I didn't have tracks in the background, but I just played excerpts from different shows and I submitted that to send to different people when I was first applying to those summer stocks because I didn't have enough content for a reel yet.
Yeah, of course.
But you have to send something. So I just sent some things not from musical theater. So yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about all the trumpets you own? Just run us through.
Goodness.
And then what you would, I mean, it's different for every show, but if you're bringing like what is in your gig bag? Like, what are you bringing to a show?
That's important.
Are you bringing 2 trumpets? Are you bringing a flugel?
That's important.
Run us through that.
So, now here living in New York City, normally I head off into rehearsals not knowing what I'm going to need. So I'll get into that in a second. But for my trumpets, I'm like not too much of a gearhead. I have a Bach Stradivarius. And I play on a 43 bell, which is actually a bigger bell than typical. 37 is the norm. So she's a big boy. But I love that horn. It was actually one of the few that was picked out by Conrad Jones. He used to play principal trumpet with the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra, and so where I'm from, and I just picked out from the horns that he had already selected from the Bach factory.
Gotcha.
So he kind of pre-vetted it, and so I really love that horn.
So that's like your main?
Yeah, that's my B flat.
Gotcha.
That's my B flat
Perfect.
instrument. It's the Bach Strat 43 bell. And I play on, watch out, a 3C.
I'm just kidding.
Crazy. I don't know. We'll see what
So
the trumpet
crazy.
players have to say about that. But I play on a 3C as my normal mouthpiece.
Of course.
And then for my C trumpet, I have a Gen 3 Yamaha, I think it's a Chicago model. Yeah, I think I'm going to eventually be moving that back to a Bach. But, you know,
Okay.
for musical theater, you don't play C trumpet very often.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Yamaha's great. I just think I prefer the Bach, which is okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then my piccolo is also a Yamaha. It's a 4-valve. It has some name. I don't really quite know. But it's a 4-valve, newer Yamaha piccolo.
Amazing.
And then for my flugelhorn, I play on a Courtois flugelhorn.
Okay.
Which was actually, it used to be a student horn at the Paris Conservatory. And randomly, it was a hand-me-down horn for me from my mom's colleague who just was interested in brass instruments.
Yeah.
And super random, we had a student at the Paris Conservatory come and study abroad with us here in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
He was studying abroad here in the States. And he was like, how the heck did you get this horn? And he sent the picture to his professor. He was like, how did this girl from Indiana get this horn? And
How did it make it all the way here?
He was like, I don't know. He's like, I'm taking this with me. And I'm like, no, I need my flugelhorn. Yeah, that one, it is a bit older, so I will be looking to replace that soon. So I'm going to, and just for musical theater, that is the most common double for trumpets, is you're going to be playing your B flat,
course.
and then you're going to be playing your flugel, and then maybe piccolo. And then that's kind of it. That's kind of all you need.
Yeah.
But
Are you bringing all three of those to a gig before you know?
Yeah. So let's say like the other day, I played a show. My friend Annalise was MDing a show at the Green Room 42.
Amazing.
And I was playing. I didn't quite know what she wanted. I texted her beforehand, and I was like, hey, like, I feel like this song would sound good on flugel. And she's like, oh, yeah, perfect. I was going to let you know. So in my bag when I'm going to rehearsal, and this one was the music of Cole Porter.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, mutes, yep, definitely bringing those. We're going to figure it out on the gig. So I brought my B-flat trumpet, my flugel. I throw my piccolo in there just in case. You
just
never know.
So you can whip it out and impress somebody.
Yeah,
if
just
they need
whip it out in case.
Yeah.
If it's a classical gig, I'll definitely also bring my C trumpet. Or if it's a potential for like a reading gig, say they only have the chart in C, I can transpose it super easily too.
Yeah.
But if I'm reading off of, like for a church gig, like reading off a hymnal or something or like if I'm reading off of like chords, sometimes it's easier for my brain just to like not have to think about the transposition.
Of course. Yeah.
So sometimes I'll throw in that C trumpet there too, and it all fits in my guard bag, so it makes it really easy to just bring all four.
Oh, wow.
But then,
amazing.
Yeah, it all fits in one case, which is perfect.
That's crazy.
I know, plug for guard bags.
Guard? You said guard bags?
Yeah, guard, G-A-R-D, guard bags.
Oh, there we go. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's really great. There's like a funky configuration that you've got to do to make sure that your horns aren't touching and they won't like crumble into each other.
Around, yeah.
But yeah, no, and it fits in the overhead bin on flights because I will not check my instruments.
Never
I will
check your
never.
instruments.
And I have fought many a gate agent on my bag. It was like, if it's on the smallest planes, I just have to be the first one on that plane.
Yeah.
But then in my mute bag, I just have
what mutes you got?
I have the ProTech bigger mute bag. I had to upgrade. I had a smaller bag, but then it just wasn't fitting. So I've got a metal adjustable cup mute.
Okay.
And then I've got 2 to 3 different kinds of straight mutes.
Really?
I have like the Trum Core. I have, oh my gosh, what are the other? Dennis Wick. And then sometimes I have like a random one.
Dennis Wick is like the traditional like white and red. Is that?
I don't have that one actually. I actually need to get that cup mute version though, because I was talking to for my next gig.
I see those everywhere.
For my next gig, I was chatting with the other trumpet player, and I was like, "Hey, what mutes are you using?" Because normally you like to match if you've got another trumpet player on the gig, and so I've got to pick one of those up. But yeah, I normally have like 2 or 3 straight mutes, a cup mute. I have 2 different kinds of Harmon mutes. I have a Trum Core Harmon mute, and then I have one of the bubble mutes.
What's a bubble mute?
It's just metal. I forget what now I'm like forgetting the brand. I'm so bad. I just some of these I stole from Carmel High School. I definitely didn't steal from Carmel High School, but maybe I did.
Legally,
maybe
she didn't.
Maybe that dentist wig came from either Carmel High School or
I feel like they're
Interlochen.
usually at the high schools and in middle schools.
Yeah, and maybe that random straight mute was also from Carmel. I just thought it was fun. It had like a copper bottom. And so I was like, you're coming on with me.
You're coming with me.
You're coming with me. I served my time here. I get my fair share of the mutes. I feel like that's a universal band brass kid experience. It's just borrowing the instruments or the mutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I have two different kinds of harmony mutes just so I can have one that's stem in and one that's stem out. So the stem is the thing that'll create like the wah-wah sound if you do it on the end. And it also just like, it creates like a more like prominent like sound and like a
like very tinny
and tinny. And then if you take it out, it's just like kind of more overall like buzzy sound.
And that's kind of the traditional, like if you wrote harmon mute, it's stem out.
Yeah.
But it'll say stem in.
Yeah, it'll say stem in if you need it. And normally I just bring both just because depending on like the vibe of it, like they'll want like a different sound. And for musical theater stuff, normally you have both stem in and stem out in the book. And you don't want to be fiddling around with pulling that stem out while you're trying to play.
Yeah.
Because it's drama.
It's time.
It's drama. It takes too much time. And so I just actually have two different ones. So on that note, I also then have a mute stand that will...
I saw it on your story. Yeah. That's why I was thinking I was going to ask about the mutes because I was like, I see a lot.
And it'll go on my music stand and that holds 4 different mutes. So I have... On the left, I have my straight mute in the small one, and then I normally do harmon, cup. And then I put my plunger on top of one of the harmons.
Of course.
And then, and I'll switch out the straight, like depending on what the sound I want. But normally, for Mean Girls, I was playing on the dentist wig, but for some of the ones I'll want to play on the trump corps. And then also in my bag, I also have a solo tone mute, which
What's that?
Oh my gosh, it's like... It's not used a ton. The only show that I've played it in was Chicago.
Okay.
So it's like a very specific sound. It's like, I need to get better at like describing all of these different sounds, but look up what a solo tone sounds like. It's gorgeous. It's like that very like jazzy, kind of like a mix of like a harmon and a cup.
Okay.
With something else.
What's it look similar to?
It looks like 2 straight mutes kind of connected.
Okay.
So it's just or no, it's kind of like like a straight mute and then like a cup mute on the out. It looks super weird. I mean, but it sounds great. It sounds super
I'll look
fun.
at it. I'm curious. I didn't know that was a mute.
And then I have the solo tone in my bag, and then I have like weird trinkets.
Lovely.
From
need the trinkets.
Like I have a little cow from my contract in Weston, Vermont.
Oh,
Their
cute.
thing is like cows. I have my dad made all of these pins when a lot of my family came to Mean Girls, like saying like that's a mean trumpet girl, or my girl plays a mean trumpet. And so I have one of those pins in there.
That's
it reminds me of my fam jam,
Of course.
And then I've got the valve oil, the trumpet mouthpiece brush, like the cleaning supplies.
Brush.
Guys, if you're listening to this, go wash your mouthpiece. It's gross.
Of course.
Go wash your mouthpiece. It's gross. And you'll sound 10 times better once you clean it, just so you know.
There you go. Good to know.
And sometimes I forget that, and then I clean it, and I was like, dang, that's way easier. Yeah. You just forget about it.
Like it just flows. Now
Exactly.
I can play.
And then I have my different mouthpieces, because I'll play on a lead piece for some of the show, depending on the song that we're in. So I just have like a bunch of different things. I now have a mouthpiece puller because my mouthpiece did, in fact, I dropped my trumpet I was using a single case, and I dropped my trumpet on the case with the mouthpiece in it.
Oh no, and it got stuck.
So
this is the ones you see in like high schools.
It got stuck. Yeah. And I literally was calling high schools because we were in the middle of nowhere, Florida. We were in Daytona Beach.
No.
And we had just left Orlando. We just did a weekend there, and we were in Daytona Beach, and it fell. And I was like, it'll be fine. And I did phone up 2 of my guy friends that had bigger muscles, and I was like, guys, can you meet me in the lobby? I'm struggling.
I can't get this out.
And they couldn't get it out. And it was really funny to like watch these like guys just like going to ham on my trumpet. I was afraid that they were gonna like bend the bell or something.
Oh my
like just because they're
gosh.
like trying to grip it.
Yeah.
Anyway. So they were unsuccessful, and I was unsuccessful at getting it out. I like put it in the fridge for a second because like that's supposed to like make it smaller. And I like just putting ice around it. Oh, it just didn't work.
Wow.
And so then I just had to play that show, all of Mean Girls, on my 3C that night, and it went well. But it was just like, normally I'm used to having that little trampoline of the lead mouthpiece to just kind of propel me up.
Yeah.
And then I didn't. So
I see.
That was we learned from that experience. And then the next day, the company rented me a car. They rented me a car to drive from Daytona to the next city, so I could get there earlier to go to the brass shop.
Cool.
And it was it took some. It was in there.
Dang.
It was bad.
So
like
now
they
you
were
have
shaving
a
off some
Polar.
of the metal. Like it was bad.
gosh.
But now I have a mouthpiece Polar, and
Smart.
it travels with me on tour.
Smart, very
and
smart.
I bought it that day, and and now the mouthpiece won't get stuck, and I won't leave my trumpet on top of my suitcase for it to fall over.
That's terrible.
But that's just the art of living out of a checked bag, a carry-on bag, and your trumpet case, and that's it.
And that's it.
That's it for 9 months of the year.
Sheesh.
And I kind of alluded to it earlier when talking about mutes. For my next contract, I was messaging the other trumpet player, and I was like, "What mutes are you playing with? Because you want to match and just make sure you're playing the same way, have the same equipment, just so you're the most successful." But I am heading back on tour in a little over a month. I'm going on the How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical.
Amazing. You're going from a Christmas show to a Christmas show.
I know. 2025 is a year for Christmas for me. And there's that Christmas sequence in Mean Girls, the rocking around the pole.
Oh, of course.
Rocking around, and so I'm just, 3 for 3 on the Christmas shows this year.
You're in your Christmas bag.
Yeah, no, it's been really great. And so I'll be doing that.
Is that 9 months?
That one is just a holiday contract. So it'll be from October 30th through January. Well, October 30th through like January 4th. We're going to Baltimore, DC, Schenectady, not Schenectady, Schenectady.
Okay.
Memphis, Florida. We're kind of going all over.
Amazing.
But yeah, there's 2 different tours for the Grinch. There's the Young Max, which is on the East Coast, and there's the Old Max, which is on the West Coast. There's 2 tours
hearing
happening.
That they name them after characters, right?
And I haven't seen the show, but it's a 90-minute one act, and apparently it's from the perspective of Max the dog.
Oh.
Which I didn't know that. So, but that's why it's called the Young Max and the Old Max tour.
That's sweet.
So, but they have 2 tours going at the same time because Grinch only tours during the holidays.
Yeah, so it's such a short tour.
Yeah, so I'm on Grinch. I have some friends that are on the Elf tour.
I've
that's
seen
also
Elf
going
here.
out. Shout out to a Carmel grad.
So fun.
Jack Duquette. He's going to be Buddy the Elf on that tour. So.
Oh my gosh, I saw
Jack.
the original Damien. He was Buddy the Elf when I saw him here.
No way.
Because I'd seen him in Mean Girls long ago.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I've got a Mean Girls friend on that tour as well, and one of the ensemble members, and then 2 of the band members on Mean Girls are going to be playing in that pit. So
oh my gosh.
It's a super small world. Everyone knows everyone. And then, coming soon, I might be back on tour in January, so we'll see. We'll wait and see. I'm not going to... I'll leave you guys hanging on that one. So might be going back on the road for a while. But
is that something you prefer touring over like vying for a chair?
The New York life,
yeah.
I love the consistency of tour and the consistency of the road. I mean, you get a paycheck every week.
Yeah.
That's the same.
It's wonderful.
Every week. I mean, it might have a little...
And you're not paying rent.
You're not paying rent. So this is the beauty
of tour.
They pay for your hotel. You get a per diem. They pay for your travel. And so basically, your entire salary can just go straight to savings.
Pure profit. If
you're smart. So, and what I do is I travel a cooker, and I travel like a little hot plate, a collapsible backpacking pot.
Oh my gosh.
And a mini skillet.
Oh my gosh.
And so I also have a portable espresso maker.
Oh my gosh.
So, because food is like your biggest expense on tour.
Of course.
And you get a per diem, which is like you have an allotted amount like per week that you can like use. And obviously you can go over that. That would just bleed into your salary.
Yeah.
But I like to try and save that as much as I can. So that's why I try to cook on the road.
That's awesome.
Travel those things and I cook in my hotel room. I think you're allowed to do that. I haven't gotten in trouble before. Maybe.
Yeah, sort of.
Definitely the portable espresso maker is great.
Yeah, seriously, that's really cool.
Because coffee is now, because I do almond milk, it's like $7 to $8
almond milk is
now.
like an extra $1 too.
I know, and it's just unfair. So I was like spending $8 a day, and I was like, this is, and I am a girl. I need 2 coffees a day, so that's like 16.
That's a lot of a lot of coffee money a day.
And so I couldn't be doing that, and so I'm able to make my coffee at home, which is perfect, and it works for me.
Super smart.
And I can make relatively simple meals. Like I'll travel like a couple spices, like my red pepper flakes and some other things. But I can make pasta. I can make tacos. I can make bowls really easily. And it just, you get tired of eating out all the time. So it's nice to like have some consistency of just like being able to cook like my girl dinner
of course
of pasta, Parmesan cheese, and like chicken nuggets. Like I love going back to my girl dinner. Sometimes you just need it because you eat just so much like restaurant processed food on the road, and it can be very tiring to do that all the time. So sometimes it's nice to just eat like a basic meal at home.
Basic meal.
And because you're moving around every week or multiple times a week depending on the contract, and so you have to be smart about packing. You get 1 checked bag and a carry-on if you're lucky.
And the carry-on is your instrument, right?
Yeah, well, I get like the carry-on bag, and then I make sure that I can also have my instrument. The tour will travel my big trumpet case, but then I like to play on the off days as well. So even on the travel days, I don't like taking a day off. It like messes with my chops. I feel weird. It's just a me thing. Yeah. Like you guys take your days off. Yeah. It's just for me.
But Tali's a machine. She keeps going.
No, I took a day off on Mean Girls we had a hellish travel day, 2 flights and a 3-hour drive.
Oh, that is
We were going
terrible.
from San Antonio, Texas to the middle of nowhere, West Virginia.
Oh
Don't
my
recommend.
Gosh. Do not recommend.
And I didn't play that day, and I felt like crap that weekend. Yeah, and like that next day I felt fine, but then that weekend we were playing in Wilmington, Delaware, and woof, we only had 4 shows, but it hit me like a truck. And so after that, I was like, nope. Even if you're tired, you're still at least gonna do your fundies a day.
Smart.
And that can even just be like 20 minutes of playing. But as long as I'm doing those 20 minutes, I'm like hitting all like the boxes. So
are you doing that in the hotel on like a silent brass, or what are you hitting on?
I just play.
Really?
I've never got knock on wood.
Really?
Never gotten a noise complaint.
Knock on wood for you.
Likely it's because my coworkers are next door to me.
The ones next to you? Yeah.
But also, I'm not an asshole. I don't play at 8 a.m.
Of course.
Some days, if we have a travel day and we're leaving at 10 or 9, I mean, I do have to play. But if I have to play really early in the morning, I'll play in the gym or I'll play in the pool.
Oh my gosh. Look at you with the hacks.
I know. Or in the laundry room.
Wow.
Because normally those are in the basement or just kind of further away from the residential areas. If I have to play really loud, I'll also go in the gym because normally those are like somewhat noise canceling.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I have to play, because I do have to play before the show, I have to warm up. Normally that's before we get to the theater. I like to play. I like to try to play before noon most days if possible.
Gotcha.
Just because I think that's just what I figured out works best for me. Yeah, but I don't play with a silent brass. When I do have to, like when I play in the airports, I play, what's it called? A Reggiano, Rejano, I believe. Okay. Or is it a G? No, I think it's a J. Ooh, we'll check it.
Yeah.
We'll link it below.
Yeah, we'll link it below.
But I do use this practice mute, the Reggiano practice mutes. It was created by one of the trombonists in the LA Phil, I believe. Cool. And so my professor, Tom Hooten, put us onto it. And they're the most I can play like the most similarly to when I'm not muted.
Yeah. Not
or
as
you
much
can use like an
resistance.
Yeah, or you can use an adjustable cup mute and just close it all the way. That's like if you don't want to buy a separate practice mute or if you don't have space for it, you can also do that. But when I'm playing in airports, I use that.
Yeah.
Practice mute, and it's 3D printed.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
interesting.
A lot of us use them, and I honestly, that's when I have to play them, or if I'm playing like really early in the morning, I'll use that. Yeah. I've also used it on the bus. We got like really delayed, like on a bus ride from just like the middle of New Orleans to the airport. Like for whatever reason, it was just like insane weather, and we got delayed, and I was just playing trumpet on the bus, and no one really cared. If they did, let me know.
Yeah, let me know after hearing this tour, people.
I know people think I'm a little nutty for it, but it makes me feel better. And honestly, if you just don't care, then it's fine. But yeah, I play in the hotel room just open.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm glad that's worked for you.
And I've never gotten a noise complaint, and so I recommend to anyone who's traveling for an audition or anything like that, don't freak out too much about it. if people have a problem with it, you'll get a phone call or you'll get a knock on the door, and then you can stop. And then you can play in the parking garage, and then you can play in the gym, or you can just play in your room an hour later. Like, it'll be
just
fine.
Wait till those people
it'll
are
be
gone.
Fine. Yeah. So, yeah, that's how I do it.
Here's a question to moderately close this out. Was there a moment in your life that you knew or decided that you wanted to do music professionally, or were you just pursuing something that was fun? Because I know that's often the case.
Yeah.
You're like, I like band in school. But was there a specific moment that you were like, oh man, maybe I should keep doing this?
Yeah, I think definitely a specific moment was like this random point, like a month into COVID. I was like, this sucks. And if you can't tell, I like yapping and I like talking to people, and I get my energy from other people. And I was realizing, just like in my room doing school there, like it wasn't for me, and I hated like that isolation and not being able to perform with other people. And I realized, dang, this is what I'm missing in life, and I feel like I get so much from it. So that's when I kind of decided I would love to do music, or at least I know I want to work with other people, and I can't just like do something like, I guess, completely by myself for my life. So it was definitely a turning point. And then I think, like, honestly, like when I started playing shows, I was like, this is really what I want to be doing. Like I realized, like, during a chorus line and during Into the Woods, people had the ability to laugh in the auditorium, and like they got to cheer for like when their like favorite character or actor came on stage, and like they got to like cry, like have all these emotions. And in the classical tradition, like you're not allowed to like open
Quiet
a cough drop.
Nope.
Without
Nothing.
like getting side eyes from the people next to you. And I understand that, and I love like all of these amazing like composers and orchestras that I grew up listening to, but and I grew up like going to the Nutcracker, and that was like another one of like my like the most like one of my favorite pieces of like art out there.
Yeah.
But still, you get to clap after the dances for all of that. And music and in classical music, you can't clap after the movements, or else like you're gonna get like scolded.
You're kicked out.
And so I just loved how there was like, I felt like a little bit of a deep breath when it came to musical theater. Like you got to like have fun, and like obviously like with the more like prim and proper shows, like I know there's still a little bit of that culture, but like I think in general, like I mean I was playing on Mean Girls. That's like a dumb teenage like whatever show. It's like not that deep. Like Janice at the end just tells you to be nice to your friends. Like that's the moral of the story.
Yeah, that's what we take away.
And yeah, we just got to like have fun with it, and I'm excited. I'm going to be playing like Grinch is a kids show. There's little children in the show as well.
Adorable.
So it's like, it's super cute, and like the audiences I'm sure are going to be super young, and like young families. I know some of my younger cousins are going to be able to come to this show, which is great, and they're all on the East Coast, so that'll be lovely. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know, just fostering like that environment and like bringing phenomenal music and everything to these younger audiences. And I feel like that's a way that and that's kind of when I figured out, that's what I want to do. I want to bring music to people and make it. And I feel like musical theater is a little bit more accessible to everyone than just classical music. I know Broadway itself isn't necessarily, that's a whole nother conversation, isn't super duper accessible, but like community theater, the summer stock theaters that I was doing, those ones can be like $10, $20 a ticket. So like that's like way more accessible. Is I think a little bit more accessible than orchestra. But that's why I love it and why I want to do it.
That's amazing. And honestly, it's like COVID was such a time, at least I know for a lot of the people who are subscribed to our channel, that was so like either you make it out a band kid, or you don't, or you're like,
I'm a professional band kid
I'm
now.
never playing it again. Like it was such a, you were on one side of the spectrum or not, because
I'm one of the few people from my year in Carmel. Obviously I didn't graduate with my class, so I don't know a ton, but like I'm one of the very few people from Carmel that are like still playing their instrument. Like a lot of kids will go into music ed, and we have a lot of people that will go to Ball State, and a phenomenal program there, and then they go into like teaching and like a lot of like the public school systems. But I feel like I know of a couple other people who are now doing the performance route, but like compared to how many people were playing in those 8 bands, there's like so few of us that are actually doing performance, which is insane.
Which is, I mean, I feel like that's like often the case.
Sense, but
you go down like way, like I'm one of, you know, even just in my class probably of like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
You know, like that's just kind of how it goes. You get there and then you're like, and I'm sure also parents too are like, are you really going to make money?
I know.
Going to a quote unquote real major. Like I feel like that always happens. And then the craziest people don't do that. Whether that's good or not, whether we're too crazy or not. But honestly, like to hear that COVID was like strengthened your resolve, if you will, is really great, because for a lot of people, they were like, if I'm not playing with people, why am I playing at all?
Yeah.
Like you were saying, but for you to be like, I'm doubling down.
Yeah.
I'm locking in so that I come out of here like a monster.
Yeah, and I wish like I had locked in like a little earlier in COVID and like had that realization, because like all of my friends who knew pre-COVID, they were like, yeah, COVID was great because I just like got really good. And I was like, shut up.
Just stop.
Shut up. Some of us discovered it in COVID. We discovered that we wanted to do music in COVID, so we didn't have that luxury. No, I pulled up to Interlochen and I played Pines of Rome on the wrong trumpet.
Oh.
Or in the wrong key.
It happens to the best of us.
It was en ut, and I just played it, which is in C, and I played it on my B flat trumpet in B flat. So, I just played it a step too low.
Oh, well, that's okay. It happens.
You know, I'm. These are the deep dark secrets you get.
Exactly. These are the deep dark secrets. Yeah, if you've made it to the end of this, these are the deep dark secrets you get. Would there be anything you want to, thinking of like, you know, our like middle school, high school listeners who are in band, if there's anything you would want to like leave with them as they're potentially deciding to either just finish out band or thinking if they're going to pursue it in college, you know, just anything, any words of wisdom? Yeah,
I guess definitely going back, like circling back to that cold emailing thing or cold DMing, like find the people that are doing what you want to do, and I mean, ask them how they did it. Like, just send a message. I mean, I'm always flattered when I get those texts because I was that person sending all of those DMs to people, and now I have like people DMing me that are current high school or even in their college years. They're like, how did you do this? Or even I have colleagues in the classical space that are like, how'd you get on these tours? Like, that's just, I didn't know that was a thing. So I'd say, just like reach out to the people that you see doing what you want to do and ask them how they did it. Because your path is not going to be the same as that person you ask.
No.
Every person's path is so incredibly different. And I asked people how they made it to Broadway. And that's the beautiful thing, is every single person I've asked has been different. It's been a completely different story. I mean, some people were working in military bands and then they moved to New York and started working on Broadway, or they like started like studying jazz and then they got in through like a jazz show and like still like play at all the clubs in Manhattan, but like then also like do the shows at night. And so like every person's path is so completely different, and so your path is not gonna, you can't like copy someone's path. Like, I mean, you just heard about how I started doing it. Yours is gonna be very different than mine. But it's very cool because you just like get to like see how other people did it and even like gain inspiration from what they did, get some tips. But I guess if you're looking to apply for school, like for college,
schools, or even these summer festivals that you're talking about.
I know it's scary, but just go for it. And I guess if you're in private lessons, that really helps, and just lean on your private lesson teachers, and ask your band directors, like if there's like music you should be listening to just start getting familiar. A lot of the times it's like public domain to see like what's on the president's own list for, or like certain military bands, you can find random lists online and just like see what those excerpts are. For trumpet, there's excerpt books you can find, and so just start plowing through those, because for orchestral auditions you'll have to, or like for the classical auditions, you'll have to play some excerpts and you'll have to play like a solo. So just kind of like gearing up to those things. And
private teachers are so useful
do your
for
solo
that.
and ensemble stuff, like, and just go for it. But have fun and really enjoy the music you're playing, and find the characters in it, find the story in it, and then that'll help like your music really flow through.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. Well, thank you so much for dropping all this wisdom on us.
I know.
I think they're gonna love it.
Crazy.
And thank you for after all these tries, we finally made it to the park.
I
so
know.
Thank you.
We made it. Here, I'm gonna.
We finally made it.
Document. We made it to the park.
We made it to the park. Yeah.
We're doing it. We're doing the thing,
Booyah,
and it's been great. And yeah, thank you so much for, I guess, having me on the pod.
Oh, of course. Thank you for coming on the pod. Our first interview guest. Yes.
Oh my gosh. And
thank
yes,
you.
wait. And remind me the show name one more time.
Lunch in the Band Room.
Lunch in the Band Room. We just had lunch and it was delicious.
Yes, exactly.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. And until next time.
Until next time. Yay. Okay, signing off. This is Nathaniel Simpson and
Tali Duckworth.
signing off Lunch in the Band Room. Thanks for listening.